In the last episode, we drove hundreds of miles to get to the most eastern point in Iceland, encompassing iconic mountains, glacier lagoons, and diamond beaches, before a long drive home. Today we look at Iceland's golden gem of the Golden Circle, breathtaking landscapes and explosive energy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Yesterday was a day of vast distances steeped in elemental wonder. Today would be a day of golden adventure as we tackle the infamous Golden Circle of Iceland and understand why it is so popular among tourists. Today started off from Stratka Hotel and would end up at Hotel Hafrnajal, which must be always pronounced this way. Along the way we would come in and take natural land formations, waterfalls, geysers, and one of the most beautiful national parks I've been to. The route for today would be about 4 hours driving, with our first stop being Kerrad Crater. Kerrad Crater is a volcanic crater lake located within the Grimsnes area of southern Iceland, along the Golden Circle, and it was the first stop for us that day. A small tokenary entrance fee was paid to the actual crater, but it was pretty cool walking around the edge before descending down several steps to the crater lake. It was especially nice during the sunrise, and it yielded some nice, well-placed photos from different angles. Walking around the top ring and the inner ring of the crater was pretty cool as well. After this stop, our next area was Little Geyser. I had assumed this was named because it was a little geyser spot. However, unlike the name suggests, it turned out to be a hot spring swimming location, which we had not prepared for. So instead, for my troubles, I just captured this photo and we ventured onwards to Gullfoss waterfall. Gullfoss was probably one of the most powerful waterfalls that we had visited in terms of scale and raw power. Tons of water cascading over the edge and down into the valley rift was immense, and being able to get up close and personal with the falls, as well as having to go a little higher to a viewing platform, was spectacular to see and witness, and of course generate a numerous amount of photos, as well as having the experience there. After departing Gullfoss, we made our way out to the geysers. This geyser being the very active kind, it certainly was a spectacle to see, and the regularity of the geyser going off was pleasant, as not a lot of the time was needed standing and waiting around, and there was plenty of things to do in the interim times. Just a few moments of waiting and the geyser would go off on a regular basis. Sometimes small, sometimes large. Just have the camera on a high continuous setting and you'll get some amazing shots of the geyser doing its thing. We spent a bit of time in this location taking in a lot of the sights and sounds of the area, and it certainly was a tourist hotspot with numerous busloads arriving and departing on a regular basis. There was a lot more to do in the area as well, with some hikes that were easily accessible, but instead we opted for a spot of lunch with a view before travelling onwards to Thingvellir National Park. Honestly, Thingvellir was breathtaking. Even the drive from getting from geyser to it was spectacular and wonderful. The valley changed, the sights that we had seen, it was all very peaceful, calm and tranquil just getting there. The landscape was just simply breathtaking from start to finish, and the area was so peaceful and quiet. The only downside was I made the rookie mistake of bringing only one battery with me down into the valley, which unfortunately depleted quite quickly with the number of photos and videos that I was taking, but the experience that I got down there was completely unmatched. Walking between two of the tectonic plates, the history of the area, how crystal clear the water was, with fish just flopping about and jumping and breaking the surface, was honestly incredible. And I would highly recommend, if the only travelling you got to do within Iceland was going to the Golden Circle, then Thingvellir was top of the list of my recommendations for anybody to visit. Having explored as much of the park as we could that day, and the sun starting its final descent in the sky, we too made our final journey push to Hafrnajal, which again was another unique experience, incorporating an under-the-water tunnel to travel out to the panhandle of Iceland. This was a very interesting experience, coupled with airplane-style ear-popping due to the pressure change that you felt as your car travelled deeper under the water's surface, was a strange feeling, to say the least, knowing that hundreds and tons of water was just sitting above you, held up by the roof of this tunnel. But the tunnel was pretty cool to explore. as you're just driving through it, and I'm sure it's shaved off a lot of time from getting from one location to wherever we need to go. And finally, before nightfall, we made it to Hotel Havernagel. This was a quaint hotel, and very reminiscent, to me at least, of The Shining, because I started to get Shining vibes from it. It's not the most modern of hotels, by any stretch of the imagination, but I found it to be quite nice and wholesome in that regard. It was very quiet, the amenities were good, and we were lucky enough to have our room upgraded to the largest one on the site, complete with a balcony and a wide open living space, which was a pleasant surprise. Reflecting, day 4 may not have been as big or grand as the adventures that we had taken the previous 2 days, but this was us edging towards the end of our journey, into the final leg of our destination that we would encompass on our day 5. But day 4 was about having unique experiences in truly breathtaking and beautiful locations, in an area that is so well protected and reserved that it's simply a must-see for people. But do not hesitate to join us next time for the final leg of the journey that will take us to the most northwestern part of Iceland, where you shall join us on the adventures and the photos captured along the way. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one.